everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you this cute little box, not very big as you can see, and it's part of my Merry Little Christmas suite that I'm using this week. Obviously, as you can see, I've used this lovely wire edged ribbon, it's just striped ribbon, and it is lovely. It's very thick, and obviously because it's got the wire it keeps its shape, so it's really handy. Excuse me, lovely green sprigs. These are really cute and really handy for just decorating little projects. I've used the Merry Little labels to create this one here, which I've just used the circle punch to get this out. We've got the three markers, so we've got the real red and the old olive that are in a 2-pack. And basic black, which you can buy singular as well. And then I'm using the Merry Little Music DSP. It's a great little box, and actually this was made for these chocolates. Now I'm going to confess, it's empty. I did eat them all, I couldn't help it. I thought, oh, they're just too nice, and I've not had them for ages, so I had to eat them. So unfortunately I will be demonstrating this one with an empty box. But yes, they are lovely. I actually picked them up in my local Aldi shop, and they were only 99p. I had a quick look in the Co-op, which is where I got my other chocolates from last time, and they were 1.69, so a whole 70p saved. It's nearly another box, so you know, you're going to have to get two, don't you? So I'm going to show you how to make it. So you need a piece of cardstock and a piece of DSP that are 9x6. And as usual, I have my dog in the window, so I'm going to apologise if she starts barking. She's certainly looking at something with intent, so I'm praying that she doesn't start, because she's literally there. Right, so no, I'm not going to make the mistake I've made before. So scoring your base, it's a simple score at... I had to think about that for a moment, because I nearly got it wrong. It's 1 inch. 1 inch scored. I was looking at another project then I'd got written down. 1 inch scored on each side for the base. And while I've got this here, I'm going to use it as my shim. And this is beautiful Merry Christmas, Merry Little Christmas. And as I say, I'm just going to use that base as my shim. Whoops. And score at 1 on all 4 sides of this as well, making sure that my cardstock is there as my shim. Obviously you don't want to use DSP because it's not as thick as cardstock, so you won't get an accurate fitting then. So 1 inch on all sides of both your base and your lid. Oops, pop that over. So obviously, just as we do with all of our projects, we're just going to fold and burnish all of our score lines. And I'm going to do the same with my lid, just while I have my bone folder out, because it just makes it a bit easier. Have you seen our fabulous offers on DSP and stamp sets and fuse? You've got to get some while stocks last, because this offer for the fuse isn't on very long. And as you know, I always use fuse when I'm doing cardstock. So you get 1 of these, and you get 2 of these, 2 refills. So isn't that brilliant? So you need to get on there and get ordering today before you miss out, because you don't want to, trust me. So obviously for your base, we're just going to cut these little corner squares into our wedges, and then just simply cut those little notches out. And we do it on all 4 sides. I don't know if you can hear the wind on my tutorial here, but it's really quite windy outside. I can hear it almost making, you know, the whistling noises that you sort of get on a film, and you think that's really exaggerated, but it actually does sound like that here today. So, as I said, just get in my fuse and pop it on all 4 corners. Oh, I think that's just about run out. So just simply put in my corners together. Simples. And then pop my empty chocolate box inside. Now it is a little bit big, but it's obviously, it doesn't matter because once you've got your lid on and the ribbons round it, it will look fine. So that's to one side. And then obviously I'm just going to do exactly the same with my lid. So I'm just simply cutting away the notches in these corner tabs. And then you could cut a window into this if you wanted. You know, you could quite easily stick a nice window in the centre there with some window sheet, or even our designer acetate. You could even use that because it would look really pretty. But obviously the whole idea of Christmas presents is that you don't see what's inside. So I'm just going back to my snail for this, just like I said, because this is just DSP. It doesn't need the fuse. And then, as you know, whoops, I always just put one end up together, and then I pop it on my box, making sure it fits and it's all comfy. And then I usually do this one a little bit differently, but then just pop that one end down, hold your finger on the top, and then just smooth that one over. And then likewise, let's tuck that in, make sure we're all sat tidy, and put that one on. And there's your lid. So you just need to take the lid off, because it is quite a snug fit, but it's, as I say, it's just nice. And I'm using my 1-inch circle punch, and I'm literally going as far as the punch will let me. I can go further over the crease, but I don't need to. And I'm just eyeballing that central part there, and like I said, I'm just going as far as the punch allows me, just up to that crease, just to put those little notches in, and that will actually make it easier to get your lid off, she says, when she can't get hers back on. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Let's try again. There we go, that's better. It's because I put one end in first and it just wasn't happy. Right, so there's our box. Beautiful box. We now need to decorate it. So, as I said, I've used my wire ribbon. I struggled to make a bow with this one. Now, you can do one, obviously, if you want to. But like I said, I actually found it quite difficult. And so I thought, well, actually, I'm going to go with a knot, a pretty knot instead. So get your ends at equal length, and then obviously do your normal knot. And then when you come back round, twist it. So you've always got this nice side showing. And then, in fact, no, actually, I'm telling you fibs, you don't need to on that one. It's this one you need to twist. And then tuck it underneath to tie your knot, and then twist it again. And that way then, it is a little bit bulky and a little bit untidy, but to be honest, that's partly why I added the sprigs, because it just makes it look less bulky and less ugly. Because as you can see, it doesn't really want to sit nicely. The good thing is it's wire, so you kind of tell it where it's going and it will stay. So I'm quite happy with that now, so I'm going to trim the ends off here. I didn't really do that angle very well, did I? Never mind. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of my green sprigs, and I just simply tucked them in. So you can see there that you've got the fold in the knot, and I just kind of tucked them in and looked for a nice little space. I think that'll look nice under there actually, to tuck them in. And then I didn't adhere them or anything like that because I thought, well, they can be reused as more decoration. And then we just need to put our sentiment on. So I've got some scrap black and whisper white. My 2 1/4 circle punch is for the black. So there's that one. And then I've got my 2 inch for the white one. So I need to do my stamping first. So I've got my D block, which are actually in a bit of a need of a clean, to be honest, and Merry Little labels. And I'm using this one, Eat, Drink and Be Merry. Now, obviously you can quite easily ink it up, stamp it, and it's done, but it'll be all one colour. And I quite like this idea of adding a little bit of colour to it, and so that's why I've got my markers. So I start off with what I class as the larger area, because it's obviously going to take you longer to colour that in, which for me was the red. And if I can just zoom in a little bit here. Which way is zoom in? It's gone very overcast, so I apologise if it seems a bit dark now. Okay, so I'm going to start off by doing the Merry because it's quite thin. And you just need to sort of go round as careful as you can near the other letters. And I'll show you why this one's, because it's so thin, you see, you need to really be precise with it. And so I just do all of my letters. You see this bit isn't so bad because I can just sort of sweep over and then just do my holly berries there. And then the tail of my Y. And I'm happy that that's got enough coverage on now. I'm just going quickly back over this M because it already seems to be drying out, and I don't know why because it's not particularly warm. So I need to do the Eat, and as you can see, because these letters are bigger and fatter, I just use the side of my brush, the side of my pen, and just literally whiz over them to make sure you've got all the colour. Now you see obviously on there I've got some on the D, so I'm just going to quickly grab my blender pen and take it off. Then with my green, I'm going to quickly go over this bit now. Just slowly go round where it meets others, and again just quickly go over that. Go over my holly leaves, and then very last but not least is the little bit here. I just need to get the black on. Just be mindful, like there, look, I've just caught it on the tip of my Merry, so just quickly go back over it with your red. And then technical bit, and quickly zoom out, technical bit, give it a H, so you're wetting all of that ink again, and give it a stamp. And there you go. So my Merry's a little bit untidy there. It perhaps could have been a little bit tidier, but I'm hoping when it dries it actually won't look so bad. So my 2 inch circle punch then, just in there, line it up where I'm happy with it, punch it out, and then I simply need some dimensionals on the back of here. I'm just going to pop 3 on this one because that's all I need. Take those off and pop them onto the black circle. Just pop that on centrally, and then just whiz a bit of snail on the back and pop it on your box. Remove that bit of ribbon, and there you have it, your 2 really cute cheap chocolate boxes that I think would look amazing under a Christmas tree. I hope you like my boxes, and I hope that you get to go to Aldi and get some of these chocolates. Obviously everything that I've used is available on the Stampin Up shopping website. It's also, the link for that is below, and all the information will be on my blog of all the products I've used, and they will link directly to the shop also. Hope you guys have a great day, and hope to see you all again soon. Bye!